soft, slow, calm voice, gentle crackling fire sound in the background. Welcome to The Sleeping Historian. If you love getting lost in history and you want a deep, peaceful sleep, you're in the right place. Every story here takes you back to a quiet night in the past where time slows down, candlelight flickers, and people return to one of the simplest, most human habits, sleeping together side by side. Tonight's story takes you to a small medieval cottage. No rush, no surprises, just a straw bed, a warm hearth, and a family lying close together in the dark, safe, warm, at peace. Settle in, close your eyes, and come with me 1,000 years back. This is Straw Beds and Warm Hearths. The daylight is fading. A small village somewhere in medieval Europe. A cottage built of wood and clay, its roof thatched with straw. Around it, fields stretch out, and beyond them, a small forest fades into a dimming orange sky. Inside there is only one room. It is the kitchen, the sitting room, and the bedroom all at once. In the middle sits a clay hearth, an iron pot hanging above it, simmering with vegetables and barley soup. The farmer, head of the household, has just returned from the fields. His arms and legs are tired, but his mind is calm. The day's work is done. He sets his plow down by the door and leans his hoe against the wall. His wife sits by the fire, stirring the soup with a wooden ladle. Beside her sits their eldest daughter, 12 years old, quietly knitting with wool thread. The two younger children sit on the floor, playing with a small doll made from dried corn husks. And in one corner of the room, seated on a wooden stool, is the grandfather, old, unhurried, a wooden cane resting lightly in his hand. He gazes into the fire, as if 1,000 nights of memory live inside those flickering flames. Outside, the air is slowly turning cold. The evening breeze moves softly through the leaves. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks once, then falls silent. One by one, soft lights begin to glow in the other cottages across the village. This time, the slow shift from evening into night, and was one of the most peaceful moments in a medieval family's day. The soup is ready. The mother ladles it into wooden bowls one by one. Each bowl is warm, steam rising gently, carrying the soft smell of barley, onion, and simple vegetables. The whole family sits together on a long wooden bench near the hearth. The bread is dark and hard, but made from rye and barley flour. But dipped in the soup, it softens, filling the mouth with warmth. No one is in a hurry. Supper was the slowest, most together moment of the day. The father speaks quietly about the day's work. Which field is plowed? Which still needs tending? The mother listens, nodding, occasionally telling the youngest to eat a little more bread. The grandfather eats slowly, smiling faintly now and then at some old memory, perhaps of his own father, or a winter night from his youth. When the meal is done, the bowls are washed in a clay basin of water. The room slowly darkens. Only the hearth fire and a small oil lamp remain lit, casting soft shadows across the walls. Now comes the quiet, careful ritual of preparing for sleep. On one side of the room stands a low wooden frame, thickly layered with dry straw. Every few weeks this straw would be changed, the old removed. Fresh straw laid down, kept soft and free of pests. The mother first spreads a thick linen cloth over the straw, woven at home. Over that she lays wool blankets, heavy, warm, made from sheep's wool. In some homes, instead of blankets, families used animal hides, sheep or goat skin, fur turned inward, so it clung close to the body and held in warmth. The eldest daughter helps arrange the pillows, soft, uneven bundles of cloth stuffed with straw or dried grass. Each one a little lopsided, a little rough, yet comforting all the same. And here is the most important thing. This bed is one single bed. The entire family will sleep here together. Separate rooms, separate beds. These were luxuries reserved for kings and the wealthy. For ordinary people, sleeping together was not just normal, it was necessary. The reason was simple: warmth. On a winter night, when frost covers the ground outside, sleeping alone meant shivering through the darkness. But when 6 or 7 people lie close together in one bed, their combined body heat forms a natural layer of warmth, often better than any blanket alone. Before sleep, one more essential task remained: tending to the fire. The mother walks to the hearth. The flames are still burning, but growing weaker. With an iron poker, she gathers the glowing coals into a small pile at the center. Then gently, she covers them with warm ash, just enough to keep the fire from dying out completely, but not enough to let it flare up. This method had a name: banking the fire. Covered this way, The coals would smolder quietly through the night, holding their heat without flame. In the morning, the ash would be brushed away, a breath blown across the coals, and the fire would come alive again. No need to start from nothing. Protecting this fire was almost a sacred task. Starting a new fire was not easy. It took striking flint against steel again and again, a slow and tiring process. So every family did what they could to keep their hearth fire alive. Day after day, sometimes month after month, that soft glow beneath the ash, that hidden warmth. It was the true heart of the home, quietly awake through the night. Now it is time for everyone to lie down together. The grandfather goes first, slow and steady, leaning on his cane. He settles at one end of the bed, closest to the wall, the warmest, safest spot, traditionally kept for the eldest. Then the two younger children climb up, teasing each other softly. But a single glance from their mother quiets them. They settle in the middle, the warmest place of all, surrounded on every side. The eldest daughter lies beside them, resting a gentle hand on her little sister. And finally, the mother and father lie down on the outer edges, as if wrapping around the rest of the family, shielding them from the cold and the dark beyond. And so, in a small cottage, in a single bed, 6 bodies settle close together, wrapped in one another's warmth. The blanket is pulled up over everyone. The room falls quiet, filled only with the sound of slow breathing. And far outside, the soft hum of the night wind. Nights in the medieval world were far darker, far quieter than nights today. No streetlights, no distant sound of traffic, only moonlight, the faint flicker of stars, and now and then the rustle of leaves in the wind. In that darkness, being alone was something to fear. Wild animals, thieves, or simply the unknown. The simplest protection against all of it was closeness. So sleeping together was not only about warmth, it was about a feeling of safety. With someone close beside you, the mind rests easier. If a sound is heard in the night, one person can wake another. If danger comes, everyone faces it together. In every cottage across the village, the same scene repeats. Parents, children, grandparents, sometimes even neighbors or travelers, all together, under one roof, in one bed, or close beside one another. Somewhere at the village's edge, a watchman might walk slowly, a dim lantern in hand. But in most villages, even that was hardly needed, for the whole village itself felt like one large family, each depending on the other, each protecting the other. In winter, this custom of sleeping together became even more essential. Outside, snow falls and the wind turns bitterly cold. The cottage walls are thin, and what serves as a window is only a small gap, sealed shut at night with a wooden shutter. Still, the cold finds its way in, through cracks in the walls beneath the roof. On such nights, blankets alone were not enough. What was needed was the warmth of bodies, and so the whole family drew as close together as they could. In some homes, even animals were brought near the bed. A dog, sometimes a goat or a hen, brought inside on the coldest winter nights, simply for their warmth. Humans and animals together under one roof, keeping each other warm. Outside the window, frost slowly gathers. A white blanket settles over the bare branches. But inside, on the straw bed, beneath the wool blankets, everything is warm, soft, and safe. Before sleep, many families shared a beloved little ritual, a short prayer, and sometimes a small story. The grandfather, lying in bed, tells his grandchildren tales of old times, stories of the forest, of some long-past festival, or a memory from his own childhood. His voice low, slow, almost a whisper. Sometimes the mother hums an old folk tune, one her own mother had once sung to her. A simple melody, slow and repeating, like a gentle path leading toward sleep. The father might say quietly, "Tomorrow is a new day. Sleep now." And in his voice there is a quiet certainty, reminding the children, everything is fine, everything is safe. Slowly, one by one, breathing grows heavier. The youngest boy falls asleep first, then his sister, then the elder daughter. The parents stay awake a little longer, making sure everyone is resting comfortably, before finally closing their own eyes. The night deepens. Outside, the moon rises high in the sky. Its light slips through the gap in the shutter, falling in a thin silver line across the floor. Beneath the ash in the hearth, the fire still glows quietly, flameless. Now and then a small sound, a coal shifting slightly, a faint crackle. Outside, the wind moves slowly, rustling the leaves in a soft, steady rhythm. Somewhere far off, an owl calls once, then silence returns. Inside, the whole family sleeps deeply, peacefully. Some breathe slow and deep, others with a faint, gentle snore. Beneath the blanket, 6 bodies lie close together, wrapped in shared warmth. In this moment, in this small cottage, nothing else in the world seems to matter. Only sleep, only warmth, only the quiet presence of each other. If you could rise above the village that night and look down as a bird might, you would see something quietly beautiful. In every cottage, the same scene, families lying close together, roofs sheltering them, hearth fires hidden beneath ash, and outside, silent darkness. At the blacksmith's home, he and his wife lie with their 2 sons, close to the warmth of the hearth. Near the mill, the miller and his large family, 7 or 8 people, share one wide bed, curled close together. In a small cottage near the church, an elderly widow lives alone, but on cold winter nights, her neighbor's daughter often comes to stay with her, so she is not alone in the dark. And so the whole village becomes, at night, like one large web woven together, no one truly alone. Everyone bound to someone else. Year after year, the seasons turned. In summer, the nights were short, the air warm, and the blankets grew thinner. The shutters left a little more open. In autumn, after the exhausting work of harvest, tired bodies fell asleep quickly, gratefully. And in winter, as we've already seen, sleeping together became more essential than ever. But one thing never changed: the custom of families sleeping as one. Generation after generation, this habit carried on. Just as the grandparents once slept in their own childhood, so too did their grandchildren sleep now. It was a quiet continuity, a feeling of safety passed down, generation to generation. The night slowly moves past its deepest hour, edging toward dawn. The sky begins to shift, from deep blue to a soft, pale gray. But there is still time left. The night's quiet, safe, warm moments continue still. The family sleeps on together in peace. The rooster has not yet crowed. The sun has not yet risen. This moment, the deepest, quietest part of the night, seems to stand still outside of time itself. And you too, listener, may be slowly sinking into sleep right now, just as that medieval family once sank into their straw bed, beneath their wool blankets, wrapped in each other's warmth. There is no danger around you, no hurry, only rest, only peace, only a safe, warm feeling, just like that small cottage 1,000 years ago. Keep your eyes closed, breathe slowly, and let yourself sink deeper into sleep. The cottage, the straw bed, the wool blanket, the hearth fire, glowing quietly beneath the ash. The family together, warm, safe, the wind moving softly. Outside, moonlight through the shutters, gap, sleep, deep, peaceful, safe. Sleep, you are in that cottage now. You are warm now. You are safe now. Sleep now. Silence. Let the soft fire sound continue a little longer, then slowly fade.